Hello, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing pretty good. My name is Jamani Bright, and I'm here to introduce you guys our company called Pathway Consulting, which is here to provide you guys in the best ways, especially in improving communication strategies for students to help them just find their missing piece in life. We have 5 people to our team: Alana Tolbert, Joseph Price, Matthias Phoebe, Drew Kelly, and myself, Jamani Bright, here to benefit you through Pathway Consulting. Pathway Consulting works with your business to help you transform your mindset so that you maintain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Today, we're going to go through the consulting team background, statement of need, internal and external communications, and recommendations. Next, we have Alana Tolbert to inform you all on the consulting team background, which is our company's purpose, values, and missions. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Elena Talbert, and I will be discussing Pathway Consulting's company background. We were founded in 1995 by 5 West Georgia students, myself included, along with Drew Kelly, Jomani Bright, Matthias Phoebe, and Joseph Price. We formed Pathway Consulting to help a university department improve communication strategies. This humble beginning led to a worldwide consulting firm focused on transforming businesses to compete in today's challenging market. Pathway has grown from one small firm to a network of 500 offices all over the world. Pathway employs more than 5,000 professionals in more than 100 countries. Pathway Consulting has a very clear mission. We go deep to unlock insight and act upon it. We bring our professional people together to challenge thinking and inspire a transformation of your business. Pathway is driven to employ the best people in all facets of business. Pathway has professionals with diverse backgrounds from marketing to manufacturing. This virtuous company covers every area of business need with the most extensive group of professionals in the industry. We work with our clients to help them build an advantage against all the rest. We work alongside you and your team to shape your business future. Every organization, even if they are at the top of their market, must be prepared for change if it hopes to stay ahead. Pathway Consulting works with your business to help you transform your mindset so you may maintain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. We have the right people, the right organizations, and a vast experience to make us your best partner for success. Pathway is a unique example of the power transformation tools that a consulting company can offer you. Next, my coworker Joseph Price will be here to discuss our company's statement of need.
Thanks, Elena. Hello, my name is Joseph Price. I am CEO here at Pathway Consulting. I'm here to speak with you today about how we at Pathway Consulting can help you with some of the needs of your department. I would first like to start out by saying that the resources that you offer your stakeholders here is truly impressive. You have some wonderful resources in your department here. What we would like to focus on is how to promote these resources to your stakeholders. We think that's definitely the key here. You've got some great resources. We just need to be able to promote them more. And there are 3 topics that I would like to discuss today. The first topic is the department image. Okay, what is department image? What does it mean? Well, I'll give you a few examples here. Apple. Enough said, right? The image of Apple is unbelievable. People use their services. People buy their products merely because of their image. I mean, they have comparable products out there to Apple, but how people choose to use them is merely by their image that they built. And that's what we here at Pathway can help Career Services with, is to improve your image to your stakeholders. And we have some really great recommendations for you on how we're going to do that. I'm going to leave that to some of the speakers today to explain exactly what those recommendations are. We'll have some really good recommendations for you. The second topic that I would like to discuss is stakeholder involvement. Who are your stakeholders? Your stakeholders are your students here at University of West Georgia, the alumni of University of West Georgia, and the employers that you work with, the employers that you try to connect your students with and your alumni with. Why is it important to have the involvement? No matter how great your resources are, does not matter if nobody's involved, if nobody's using those resources. If people aren't using them, then there's no need for the department. So it's very important to get the student involvement. How do you do that? Department image goes hand in hand with stakeholder involvement. The better your image is, the more involvement you have. And what we're going to do here at Pathway is we're going to help you promote your services and your resources to improve your involvement of all your stakeholders. The last topic I'd really like to discuss is external communication. What I've been talking about this whole time is promoting services. How do you do that? You communicate it. Communication is critical. It's key for letting people know what type of resources and how useful your resources are. What are some of the ways you communicate? Face-to-face. It's kind of a lost art today. People still do it, but it seems as though some of the other communication mediums have overtaken face-to-face. Email. How many emails do you get in a day? Can't even count them anymore. But how do you make those emails useful for you to promote the Department of Career Services? That's the important part. And I would also like to talk about social media. Social media has changed the way the world communicates today. And what we're going to do here is focus on that. Communicating through social media. Just because you have a web page doesn't mean you're communicating through social media. We have some great recommendations on exactly how we're going to help you with that. And some of the speakers later today are going to explain that. So, again, today we're talking about the promotion of the services and the resources of career services. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to promote? What are we going to try to improve? Your department's image. We're going to improve your stakeholder involvement. We're going to improve the way you communicate with all your stakeholders. All of these aspects are all about promoting the services and the resources that you offer to your stakeholders. I would like to thank you for listening to me today, giving me the time to speak to you. And I would like to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker is Drew Kelly. He is the Chief Consultant here at Pathway Consulting, and he is going to speak to you about internal and external communication. Drew?
After a careful review of the Department of Career Services, we found some opportunities to improve the department's image, stakeholder involvement, and external communication. Our research has shown that the department's internal communication is very effective. The University of West Georgia recently deemed University Gmail accounts to be the official form of communication on campus. Internally, your team would only be communicating with university employees within the department, as well as cross-communication with any other departments to be partnered with, such as academic advising or university administration. External communication, however, has much more to do with the execution of the mission of career services. External communication is the most important step in the field work that employees do to help students achieve as much as possible while they attend the University of West Georgia. As important as email is to the university, it becomes less effective when advertising to students. Another layer of the world of digital communication is social media. Many organizations have full departments dedicated to their social media and using these sites and apps as tools for marketing and outreach. Having an entire department of educated and involved social media users, the department's social media presence can be fine-tuned to have its most effective outreach and become an example to others. With current active accounts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, a LinkedIn presence is the clear next step, especially with a department focused so much on professional acceleration and employment. Maximizing your department's productivity with these accounts will increase your involvement and outreach. Written communication is something that seems less effective than it is. The department does a great job of marketing through flyers and occasionally mailing promotional material. Large-scale events and weekly workshops are already a success, but outreach could dramatically increase with a physical reminder in a student's hand, backpack, or bulletin board. Something to applaud the department for in terms of external communication is the highly effective, highly functional, and highly navigable website of Career Services. Some additions that we would like to include within the website are a virtual advertising opportunity. This would be a simple form on the website for inquiries. A 24-hour business day turnaround for responses to these submissions would be ideal. We have also done a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis of the department. We've identified the strengths of Career Services as their interactive website and presenting and assisting students with career and major section workshops and events. The opportunities of Career Services are the testimonials of graduates that have received a job due to their involvement with the department, and developing engaging, innovative, and strategic ways to promote their workshops. The weaknesses of the department are its promotions of all services, and the threats are budget cuts and funding due to other ways to get jobs after attending university. We wish to help the department become the best it can be by learning from its threats and weaknesses, and growing with its strengths and opportunities. Again, learning the ins and outs of social media is a task to conquer in the next few weeks of adopting our proposal. Keeping the staff up to date on what students' attention will not only increase internal productivity, but also extend the department's external outreach. The proposed changes will maximize the depth and opportunity of Career Services. Pathway has also done a comparative analysis comparing the University of Tennessee Center of Career Development and Research to the University of West Georgia's Career Services Department. Some differences that we have found is that UT's homepage layout is different and includes easily accessible links to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. UT also offers personality assessments and career exploration classes, which is something the firm believes could be beneficial within the department at UWG. UT's upcoming events are listed on the homepage, whereas our department includes an interactive calendar of events. UT has afternoon walk-in hours, which could be helpful for non-traditional students. UWG Career Services has limited walk-in opportunities in the early afternoon, which could be difficult for some students, so opening walk-in availability should also be something to look into in the future. UT has a web store for students and employers to purchase resources, neither of which is better than the other. However, both could learn from what the other has. These recommendations that I've talked about only apply to the improvement of communication within Career Services. Now, one of our partners and the founder of Pathway Consulting, Matthias Foby, will now explain our final recommendations for the department to maximize improvement.
Hello, my name is Matthias Foby, and I am the founder of Pathway Consulting. Thank you, Drew, for that amazing introduction. Today, I will be providing you with recommendations from Pathway Consulting on how we can help you improve the image of Career Services, increase the involvement in Career Services, and also promote Career Services using external communications. Let's get to it. So, the first recommendation we have with improving the Career Services is by being able to show the results that Career Services has had in the past and currently has. One way that can be done is by assigning a certain staff member to go out and collect some surveys or stats on how the Career Services has been able to help each alumni and each student with either increasing their resume, increasing their self-image, or helping them obtain a career or job which they were seeking. That's one recommendation in the image of Career Services. Another recommendation towards improving the image of Career Services will be to target the influencers of students. Who would that be? Those would be the professors and the counselors. One thing which can be done is to hand out pamphlets and brochures to each professor and each counselor, so every time a student visits that classroom or that session of counseling, a brochure is handed to each student so they know that they can still be able to utilize the Career Services whenever and wherever. Now let's go into the involvement in the Career Services. As we know, the Career Services has many great events. And with those events, they're partnered with many great corporations and companies. One way to kind of single out a corporation is to take that company and help them set up a booth so that as a student is walking to class or from class, they're able to stop and ask for small tips, such as, how can I apply for your company? What would be the best thing to put on a resume for your company? Or what type of candidates is your company seeking? Now, what that will do is going to teach students to think on their feet. It's going to teach students to be professionally dressed most of the time if they're going to run into potential employers. And they're going to carry resumes with them wherever they go because they know an opportunity is right around the corner. Another recommendation towards increasing the involvement in Career Services would be to help a staff member create an actual guide before they step into a career fair. A lot of students do not know what to do, what to wear, and what is going on when they're headed to a career fair. But they are trying to find a job or trying to find a career which matches their path. What they will be able to do in this small session, which is created before the career fair, is you can set up a small, simple training to show students how they can be effective with walking up to each booth with their presentation. As simple as just a smile. Teaching students small practices like this can really increase the effectiveness of them going to these career fairs. Now, promoting Career Services using external communications. As we know, students have a huge growing social media presence. So the Career Services needs to go right ahead and follow with the trend. One way that can be done is by assigning a student to be in charge of the Career Services social media presence, but having a professional be their guide to where they're able to help them add the best qualities and most professional point of view to that social media presence. Now, with creating that social media presence comes the idea of how is Career Services going to be represented on that social media presence. The best way to represent Career Services is to represent the people which they are serving, which are their students and alumni. So how can you do that? First way to do that is kind of simultaneously increasing the involvement with the students also. How? By creating small events, rewards, or prizes for students to be able to follow them on Instagram, follow them on social media. One thing you can do is by creating a small reward saying, if you dress up 3 times in this week and we take a picture of you, then you're actually going to get a chance to go on our Instagram, and we're actually going to give you a reward or a prize for the person who looks the best dressed and gets the most likes on Instagram. Small things like that can really create that drive and that presence for students to want to be involved, not just with social media, but with Career Services on social media. Those are just small tips on how Pathway Consulting can help you get from the good corporation or the good department you are to a great department which you can be. Thank you.
So in conclusion, Pathway Consulting will improve communication strategies for improved students' involvement. We are helping your business transform their mindset so that you maintain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Like I said before, we have the right people, the right organization, and vast experience to make us your best partner for success. Pathway is a unique example of powerful transformation tools that a consulting company can offer you. We are more than excited and confident that we will provide you with our great qualities to better your success for the future. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Okay, your question was, how is updating the website to include statistics of employment going to improve the department's image? Okay, let's think about it. If, say, 75% of students who use career services get a job after college, what would those type of statistics do to your image? I mean, not only image, look what it could do to your stakeholder involvement. If students and alumni see how beneficial the resources are of career services, and statistics are hard data. This shows a number, 75%, 80%, whatever the percentage is. It shows how much more useful these resources can be for students and alumni. And it'll even show the employers. It'll improve your image through all of your stakeholders just by showing a statistic, showing them how useful your resources are. Thank you for the question.
That is an excellent question. Our biggest recommendation to career services at the University of West Georgia was to improve their social media outlets, such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Since they are trying to reach an age group of about 18 to 22, this is now the best way to do it. Social media is the new era of communication. Most students spend hours and hours a day looking at their phones. If they could easily access career services information and activities throughout their daily basis of checking their phones, they would be more likely to know what is going on in that department. A lot of students now don't even know career services exist or what they can do. Career services is a very helpful department, and by being more easily accessible on social media, students are more likely to reach out and gain help from that department.
Why would working with your consulting company be a smart choice or investment? Working with our consulting company would be a smart choice or investment because we're here to help you. Like I said, we're on your side. We're here to benefit you. There's no wrong in that. We're offering you with experience to improve your overall skills. We're helping you get the competitive advantage and help you build your company to succeed. That's why it's a good investment, because it's a long-run investment on your side.
How much time and or effort will be needed to put the recommendations in place? Great question. The time needed to put these recommendations in place can span anywhere from a month to 2 semesters. Why do I say that? Because currently we're actually moving into the summer term. Due to having less students on campus and more times to focus on the actions we're going to take, we're able to create a game plan for when more students are on campus, to where we will have more time to put in the action rather than time to plan. So this is actually the key moment, which will help you decrease your time in the long run by planning right now. And it will take up to 2 semesters to put everything in place, because some recommendations do have to deal with working with corporations, and some recommendations do have to deal with assigning certain staff members or students to do certain things in the recommendation. So those may take a little while with either finding that correct staff or finding that student. But as we know, when we're trying to move to a better place, things may take time. But time is something which can be cut down short if proper planning is done. Now, when is the best time? It's always now. Thank you.
Thank you. The question was, why should we trust your recommendations to improve our department or organization now and into the future? The research that we have done and the recommendations that we have given you were not only to bring your department as into the present day as possible, but to prepare your department for the future as best we can. As following our recommendations should make your department a futuristic outlier, you can trust that these new practices will help you sustain success for years to come. We put this kind of work into your department because we have your best interest at heart. Thank you so much for the question and for watching our presentation. More than anything, thank you to the University of West Georgia Department of Career Services for trusting in the abilities of Pathway Consulting and allowing us to pave the path of success for your department.